A top election denier and key Trump ally suffered an embarrassing election defeat in Minnesota. Mike Lindell, the former MyPillow CEO who gained national prominence and became a darling of the fringe hard right for being a leader of 2020 election denialism, along with the big lie, was defeated in his bid to be the Republican nominee for governor. Lisa DeMuth, who currently serves as the Minnesota Speaker of the House, defeated Lindell by nearly 11 points. Donald Trump endorsed Lindell, posting multiple times on Truth Social in support of Lindell, despite the Minnesota Republican Party urging Trump not to intervene in the race. And if you thought the former MyPillow guy would gracefully concede, well, think again.
If the AP calls the race.
What is the AP with the voters? What the AP? Why would I listen to the AP? There's 265,000 votes left to count. I'm down by 18,000 now. We just gained 5,000. I'm not going to give up this race.
I want to bring in Charlie Sykes. He is the author of To the Contrary newsletter, and Sam Stein, managing editor of the Bulwark. All right, Charlie, Mike Lindell can't believe he lost. Can you?
Well, it's very much on brand, isn't it? It's interesting. Donald Trump went all in for him, and apparently Republican voters are willing to vote for loyalists and extremists, but they're going to draw the line at the genuinely certifiable. So there's Mike Lindell doing what Mike Lindell does. And it's going to turn out the way all of these Mike Lindell conspiracy theories turn out. I think, last night was obviously a bad night for the crazies. But just to think about the political moment that we're even talking about Mike Lindell as a candidate for governor of any state in the United States, given his track record. But again, this seems rather significantly consistent with everything he's done over the last several years.
It does seem, Sam, like a test of the Trump endorsement power, because in addition to his endorsement of Lindell, he also clearly has put all of his weight behind Darlene Graham in her race in South Carolina. She was forced into a runoff, I think, in a different period of time. A Trump-endorsed candidate would run away with a primary like that. Not the case here.
Yeah, there's been a few cases here where Trump's endorsement has not actually moved the needle. Let's be, frank about it. More often than not, it does, right? I mean, this party tends to take its guidance from Donald Trump. But Lindell, as Charlie said, was obviously just a bridge too far, maybe a pillow too far, if you want to extend the metaphor. And
Sam,
I'm trying here. Okay, I'm trying. But what I'm curious about is, will Trump come to Mike Lindell's defense and insisting that this election was fraudulent to the degree that Lindell did to Trump? I mean, Lindell burnt any reputation he had, spent copious amounts of money, got himself embroiled in amazing legal dramas and trouble. I think he was served papers while being interviewed on TV once. Like, this man has given it all for Trump and his crazy conspiracies. Will Trump return the favor? I don't know. And that would be the ultimate letdown for Lindell. But it also would kind of be on brand for Trump, because if he has to, because the thing that Trump doesn't want to do here is he does not want to acknowledge that his preferred candidate lost a primary. He can't do it because it saps his power within the Republican Party. So Trump's in kind of this weird bind, and I'm very curious to see what he does.
Well, I mean, to the point that Sam is making, Charlie, when the president was asked about his support of Darlene Graham, he's like, well, let's be clear. Like, everybody in this race is MAGA, and I like everybody who's running in this race. He wanted to distance, it seemed, he wanted to put some distance between himself. He didn't want this to be a test of his own power. And yeah, I think it's hard to read it as anything but that.
Well, it is. And, to Sam's point, I mean, we need to acknowledge that he generally gets his way. But I also think we're finding some limits to that. Andy Ogles was, that how you pronounce his name? Andy Ogles was defeated in the primary, despite, being a Trumpist. What happened in South Carolina. What is interesting, going back to your question about what Donald Trump will do, we've seen that Donald Trump is willing to push the crazy all the way to the limit and beyond. In Minnesota, he would really really have to go to war with Minnesota Republicans, right? He has to make the case that those dastardly Minnesota Republicans rigged the election and find a way to overturn the Republican primary. And that's kind of a new wrinkle on Donald Trump's election denialism. We'll have to see.